Heyo everybody, Haku here with my review of Kobayashi-san Chino Maid Dragon, or Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, Episode 5. My review of the 5th episode. Now, this show already, one of my favorite shows of the season, well, my favorite show of the season right now, and working its way up to be possibly one of my favorite anime of all time. Now, I feel like that's a pretty strong thing to say 5 episodes in, and I also feel like just in general, it's hard to express how much I like every single thing about the show without sounding like I'm like ass-kissing the show and really, really laying it on a bit thick. So, yeah, just know that in pretty much every aspect, I think this is a really, really great show. And I can't speak for the entire show just from 5 episodes so far, but I think at the end, when I talk about the show as a whole, it's going to be one of my favorite shows of all time. Now, starting at the beginning of this episode, though, we have the breakfast scene, which is cute. I love the little background stuff like Kanna not being able to use chopsticks. And just the hard hat thingy that she wears. I don't know why that's a thing with like Japanese elementary schoolers, the little yellow hat thingies. I've never understood what they were or what they did. I mean, I guess it's because little kids can get into a lot of danger, so they don't get their heads like injured or wet. But yeah, it just seems very odd to me, like on their way to school. Yeah, it just seems so odd to me, but so cute with Kanna. So Toru is getting better as a maid, which leads to the funny scene of her blowing a hole in the side of the apartment building, of course. And Kobayashi-san, as well, getting character development, has grown more open and happy. So good to see like the fruits of this character development we've had for 4 episodes now. So then we get funny sequences of Toru watching the TV, thinking about cooking her tail meat, and she ends up going to Kobayashi's work. She still ends up thinking that humans are lesser than dragons, of course, and she trips Kobayashi's shitty boss, because of course the shitty boss stereotype. And then we have the funniest scene for me was at the end, just something small where Kobayashi, what called her out was like Toru, and then when she actually appeared, Kobayashi was like, whoa, you were actually there. That to me was like the funniest part of the whole extended sequence of Toru going to her work. To me, that was the funniest part. Then the scene of them walking home was an incredibly strong scene. Like, I almost teared up at the OST, and it was pretty powerful for like just the understated, nuanced character development. Just so nice. Then next up we had we went back to the school with Kanna and the Ahagao girl, and the Ahagao girl, her scenes throughout this episode just very weird because she's an elementary schooler. Very odd scenes. Then we have Toru shopping, and she sees Fafnir, of course, who again, one of my favorite characters in this show, who has decided to live in the human world. So then we see him on the news, which was funny. And another funny sequence was Toru trying to help him find a house and trying to do all this human stuff that neither of them know anything about. So they end up visiting Makoto at home, and that was another thing that made me laugh a lot was when they went to his house and he was just in his stereotypical otaku form. So he lets Fafnir live with him, and Fafnir again made me laugh quite a bit when he was like, so, about those games from before, are there any more of them? Tell me about them. And then I completely died laughing at Kanna and Toru watching the magic shows, and then trying to bend all the spoons. And again, when Kobayashi did it, and Kanna was like, a god, Kobayashi god. That was, again, one of the funniest parts to me. And Toru thinking, about humans only using 10% of their brain and everything. They're such crafty, lazy creatures. And how she always just thinks such strange things. The OST, when they were training, I really like the song they used there. And just when Kobayashi has that moment where she's thinking about Toru and thinking about being happy and not remembering who she was before. That was just such a beautiful scene, and one of the reasons why this is a really beautiful show. Then, of course, we end with the teleportation gag, which was very funny. Actually, like, really, really funny. It's another one that I actually laughed aloud for. And Kanna as a lunch lady, which was cute, was what we ended it completely on. And, of course, the ending theme, which I still love. So, this episode, I laughed so much this episode. I thought we had some really beautiful character development in there that's been built up for quite a while. And it's a really strong and nuanced story we have going through here with amazing comedy sense. Like, the comedy is really, it's not like silly lowbrow comedy. There are silly moments, but it's more like thought out and methodical kind of comedy, and it's very, very funny. And doing that, they have these little scenes in there with the comedy that make it a really strong story, but they don't force the story down your throat, which makes it even better. So yeah, also this episode, there was so much content. Like, I know I went through the review really quickly, but there were a bunch of different settings and scenes, and there was just a lot going on. The animation, as usual, genius. Same with the OST. I love both the OST that played, the OST that played at both of the really serious character scenes for Kobayashi, and the one that played during Kanna and Toru's training was really good as well. The animation also just looked nice throughout. It's got just this really smooth and fluid movement to it, which I really like. So yeah, I'll give this one. I thought this is the shortest review for a perfect episode I think I've done of something, but I'm gonna give it 10 out of 10. 10 twisted spoons out of 10, just because the comedy made me laugh out loud multiple times, and most other shows don't even do that once an episode, but this did it many times in one episode. Plus, it had very, very strong character development scenes. I couldn't really ask for more from a single episode. Next episode, it seems like we're getting more Lukoa, and more Fafnir. He seems like he'll be there as well. We saw him with Kanna and the other girl that's her friend, which I think that'll end up being funny. And still no signs of Fishtail Girl yet, but still waiting on it. Yeah, that is it, is it not? So, either way, like if you did like the video, comment down there, tell me what you thought of this episode and what you thought of my thoughts on it. Subscribe for more Kobayashi-san Chi no Dragon Maid and everything else we're covering on the channel and more. Like, seriously, there's too many things to list in a reasonable amount of time here. Share the video if you want and follow on Twitter if you want as well. I'll try to keep you updated there and stuff for the channel. That's it. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.